What is up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online for a new Kaladesh Draft this day. I'm playing 8-4, and we have a very strong pack here. Harness Lightning is among the best non-rare card in the set. Servant of the Conduit is also among the best non-rare card in the set. Either Meltdown is fine, but weaker than the two other uncommon. Thriving Rhino is very good. Prophetic Prism is very good, and Skyship Stoker is very good. So yeah, very solid pack. Stoker is slightly better, I think, but we are very likely putting someone into red, bypassing the lightning, which I don't love. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, if we pick the servant, someone is gonna pick the rhino and be green anyways. But yeah, very good pack. Stoker is very good though. Alright. Several options here. You have two rather strong fabricated cards, but I actually haven't been that impressed by the Augmenter or the Enthusiast. I almost feel like the Propeller Pioneer, the 4 mana 2-1 fly with Fabricate 1 is just better than those, despite being common and those being uncommon. I mean, in the right deck they are good, but I don't think those cards are that amazing, despite having Fabricate 2, which is pretty good. Young is also, I think, a mediocre removal, unless you have some other energy producer. It's just kind of weak and doesn't really kill what you care about. And being sorcery is really a liability. His Sculptor is pretty good. Honestly, I'm just gonna go with Driving Grabs. I value the fact of staying mono-red for now and staying a bit more open, and I think that Augmenter, Enthusiast, Young, and Seed Sculptor are all slightly better than the Grabs, but not enough better to the point where I should pick them and just not try to stay mono-red for now. Dynavolt Tower is sweet. I don't think we can really try to pick that and get there though. Again, Seed Sculptor is good. Thriving Rats is good. I think I like the Seed Sculptor more. Basically the same body, except you don't have to attack, so that seems just better. In some case the rat is going to be better because you can use the energy somewhere else, but if you use the energy someone else, you paid 2 mana for 1/2, which is pretty bad. I don't really see many situations in which this is going to be better than Seed Sculptor. Pretty weak pack overall. I like Seed Sculptor a decent amount though, I'm going to go with that. Well, there's another Seed Sculptor, and that's the third one we saw. It's kind of clunky because again we passed a pack full of good red and green cards, so we are probably not getting match pack 2, but it is what it is. I think we want to pick Seed Sculptor over Apprentice, which is fine but just weaker. Either Up is fine, but yeah, I really like the Seed Sculptor. It's a good card. Nothing I really like here. I might just pick Inspiring Vantage, not because it's worth money, even though it's probably not worth match either way, but mostly because it's good fixing. I could see myself wanting to splash for some white cards. I don't really love Salivating Gremlins, especially not in red-green. It's decent in red-black, I think, and red-white maybe, but not really in red-green. And yeah, there's nothing really exciting. Fixing can really be important and good, so Vantage seems like a fine pick. Alright, well, fairly late Imperial Voyager, so maybe we should pick that and see if this is the way we should go. The thing is, we got a Thriving Grab pack 2, which is not even that great, but red just doesn't seem open at all, and we passed 2 very good red cards. No, I think 1 very good red card. So I think we'll not get much red this draft, and Stoker is very good, but you should not be married to your first pick, so maybe it's time to move out of red, and if it's not open, just not be red. And Voyager is pretty sweet, so I'm gonna pick that and see if maybe blue is the color I should go with. Malfunction is sweet. It's not super strong, but 7th pick Malfunction is nice, and there's no good red or green cards, so... And Malfunction is by far the best card of, was by far the best card of the last pack. Nimble Innovator is quite solid. I think I like it more than Select for Inspection. And more than the Peafowl. Either trade wins is fine. It's pretty good if you are playing against cards like Malfunction, either Meltdown, or Revoke Privileges. It's good if you have some enter the battlefield triggers like Seed Sculptor, Innovator. It's a fine card. I really don't like the Curio Vendor. I don't think we'll get to the point where we want to play Puzzle Knot, but who knows? Maybe. And I think we are moving out of reds. We have 6 playables here, which is kind of low, but we had to change our color middle of the draft, and I think there's just not much we, you know, it's not really because we misdrafted or anything, it's just we picked a very solid red bomb card, bomb rare, and then red was not open at all, so, well, there is that. It's kind of nice to have trade wins with 2 Seed Sculptors and 2 Innovator. That's kind of a sweet one. Curve is looking good. Yeah, I mean, I like how this is shaping up. It's kind of sad that we will probably not get to play red, but it is what it is. And blue was definitely open. We passed an Ether Meltdown that did not come back, but you know, it would be not surprising if there's another blue player, but there is probably one other blue player and then that's it, where I could see 2 or 3 other red player at the table right now, because we really did not see many red cards and we probably put someone into red, so yeah. Unfortunately the Stalker is not really splashable, but it is what it is. Second Puzzle Knot, maybe we can do, I mean we have 2 Puzzle Knot plus a Voyager, so if we get a card that care about energy, maybe we'll be doing that. Puzzle Knot is not my favorite enabler though, like I'd rather play something like Sage of Shayla's Claim, the 2-1 for 2 that gives you 3 energy, just because I feel like a 2-1 bot, even if it's not great, is more valuable than... Well, this one, I mean, I don't really like the green one because gaining life is kind of weak, but scrying is actually quite valuable. Scrying 4 is worth at least 1 card, if not a bit more. I mean, scrying 4 once is not that great, but scrying 2 and then scrying 2 is probably worth 1.5, if not 2 cards. So, it's not the worst, but currently we don't really care about energy. Rashmi, sign me in. That card is super powerful. I love it. And we are blue-green. Alright. Furious Reprisal is a sweet one. Skywell is good. Hunt the Weak is good. But Rashmi is just great. I love that card. Yeah, I love it. Alright, great. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. And now we are pretty much solidified into blue-green, which I don't mind. I mean, if that's what's open, I'm gonna go into the Scholars. Kinda clunky that we passed a, what's the name? Servant of the Conduit, the 2-2 for 2 that produces energy and make mana. It would have been great in the deck. And because we passed that, it's not... I mean, we might not get a bunch of green this pack, but oh well. Such is life. Yeah, there's a Nature's Way here, which is a good one. I think it's just better than Hunt the Weak. Getting a +1 counter does matter. We do have a fair amount of 4-drops though right now, and I think this is just better in general. I like that. Blade Master could be pretty... I mean, I don't love the card, but actually in blue-green mid-range it's quite solid. Works very well with cards like Nature's Way or Hunt the Weak, so... could be a nice thing to wheel. Interesting. There's a Spire Bluff Canal. I don't think we are really picking that, and I don't think... You know, if this was actually 3 colorless, 1 red, I would pick the Canal and splash for that, or attempt to do so, but since it's not the case, I don't think it's the pick. And I think, well, Durable Handicraft is quite good, Glimmer of Genius is quite good, Ether Theorist is quite good. I think those are all better than Wild Wanderer. So far, I think I've been liking Ether Theorist more than Glimmer, which might seem weird, but Ether Theorist I think is just very solid. It blocks a lot of things, and 3 Scry is almost worth 1 or 2 cards. It's just a very solid card. And the set is fast enough where I'd rather have a 1-3 that scry a couple times over, you know, a potentially clunky 4-mana draw spell. Now, Handicraft is good too, so I don't know, I think it's close. I'll go with Handicraft, I like that card a fair amount. Ooh. Experimental Aviator I think is very good and very underrated. Windrake would feel the curve fine, but I think this is just stronger. Aviator is potentially pretty sweet with Handicraft. If you get enough mana, you can get a 1/4 fly plus 2/2 fly. Very good. Serpent is good, but I think weaker than the Aviator, especially right now when we don't have any artifact. So yeah, Aviator is nice. There's a Serpent now, which I think I'm gonna take this time. Like, I don't really need a third Nimble Innovator. We don't have any artifact yet, but we are likely to get some at some point. I could play... Serpent is just a very good finisher, though. I'm gonna pick that. Like, if we don't have a third Innovator, I don't think it's gonna hurt us too much. We already have 2 of them, plus a decent amount of 4-drops in general. And if I get a bit more artifacts, Serpent is gonna be good. I mean, if you can cast that for 6, I think it's a good card. For 7, it's a bit overcasted. For 6, it's good, and under 6, it becomes really solid. Okay, another Ether Theorist. Blossoming Defense is a good trick, but I don't think we want that. I think we want either the Theorist or the Windrake. And I don't know which one I like more. I think the Theorist. I really like Theorist. Okay, Seed Sculptor and Girapur Guide. I really like Seed Sculptor, I think it's a great card. Even though we don't have anything that cares about counter right now, it's just solid. Like, the fact that worst case scenario it's gonna be 2 mana 2/3 is just really nice. The guide I think is not, I mean it's fine, but well, you can win with the ability sometime. And we have so many 2-drops right now that maybe it's right. Well, I like the Seed Sculptor more, and I think we should be able to get some 3-drop. Yeah, nothing I care about that match here. Wingsmith I think is kind of mediocre. Like, I'd rather have something like Nimble Innovator as my 4-drop. I'm probably gonna pick Rebuff for the side, which I think is a decent sideboard option. Well, Takedown is a good option for the side. Now, Wheel Maker is also interesting, though I don't think we are really main decking that, even though we have a Serpent. Serpent is good with Aviator, by the way. There is that I did not mention. I think we want to pick Takedown for the side, though. Yeah, still not really caring about Energy, and I don't think we'll end up caring about Energy that much, but Puzzle Knot is good. I like the fact that we have 2 solid removal, a very nice amount of 2-drops. I think having some solid 2-drops is really important in this set and makes things smoother. And yeah, another Theorist. I don't mind that. 2 Theories plus 3 Seed Sculptor. I think it's the... I'm happy with 5 2-drops and they are all pretty good. And now I can just focus on picking some higher power cards and some good late game, basically. And now, a card like Fairground Trumpeter or Armorcraft Judge is really well enabled because of the 3 Seed Sculptors. Seed Sculptors is also quite good with Flyer in general, especially Imperial Voyager, so... I like that, I really like that. Really love how the deck is shaping. The only thing I'm not super happy about is the Serpent, which is right now not great. Fine, but not great. So if we could pick some more artifact, that'd be sweet. Confiscation Coup is probably one of the best cards in the set. Long Tusk Cub is amazing, but this is just better. And we need 5-drop more than 2-drop right now. If I could wheel the Seed Sculptor, I'd be happy enough. The Cub is not wheeling. Glimmer could be fine. Select for Inspection could be fine. Inventor's Goggle I think is pretty good in this deck actually. Those are not Artificers unfortunately, but we have 2 Nimble Innovator, we have an Aviator, and we have enough creature where this should be pretty solid in the deck. Coup is amazing though, love that card. I actually haven't played against or with the card yet really, but you know it's strong. When it's already good on its own and amazing with a bit more energy like Imperial Voyager, yeah, love it. That being said, having that doesn't make me want to play those Puzzle Knot, because Puzzle Knots are weak and this is good on its own, so no reason to do so. I don't think we want Era of Innovation. We have a couple Artificer, but not many artifacts. We don't really care that much about Energy. The second Serpent is not looking good. The third Innovator not looking appealing. I think the pick is between Prophetic Prism and Riparian Tiger. So we don't really need fixing, but an artifact is good for the Serpent. But we have a lot of things to cast on turn 2, and a good aggressive 5-drop is actually something I think we want quite a lot, so I'm gonna pick the Tiger. Okay, nothing for us here really. The Zerat's Ambition is fine, but we already have a couple 5-drops that are just better. 2 good red cards, but we are not red. Ornamental Courage is playable, I guess, though unexciting. Torch Gauntlet. It's kind of decent. I have a bunch of creature. I could care about artifact. It's kind of good with Flyer and Innovator in general. Courage might just be better. I don't love any of these cards either way. Ooh, interesting pick. We don't want the Crane. We don't want the Innovator, but Honda Week and Janjit Sentry are pretty good. I would say that Honda Week is a better card in general now. Given that we can produce a bit of energy of the Voyager and that we have a hole here, Sentry is slightly more appealing. I still think it's Honda Week though. Yeah, it's just a better card. We don't have any fixing, so I don't think we should beat Virtuoso. Again, Crane is not good. We have 2 solid 3-drop in Blade Master and Chief of the Foundry. I think it's gonna be Chief because it's the same body, and prowess is not gonna matter that often. And if I randomly have a draw with Chief and Aviator, it's just very good, and Chief makes the Serpent better, so I think it's just a better card in general. Well, even though I have the Chief and the Serpent, I don't think I want Eager Construct. Like, I have enough 2-drops, and they are just all much better than Construct, to the point where I don't think they are really... I should really try to play that. Era of Innovation, I don't think is very good here. We have a couple Artificer and Artifact, but not that much. And we don't care about energy that much. I think I'm just gonna pick another takedown for my side. Ooh, another Honda Week? Sign me in. I mean, I'd be happy with High Spire Artisan, as it makes an artifact and it's pretty good in the curve, but Honda Week is great. And we got a third Theorist. Sure, I mean, I'm lacking 3-drop, but I have enough 2-drops to the point where it should not be too bad. Select for Inspection is a fine addition. I don't think we want the Hermit. I don't think that the card is very good. Nothing we care about here. We have some nice removal. I mean, 2 Honda Wink, Malfunction, Nature's Way, and Confiscation Coup. Pretty good ways to deal with the board. We have 14 creatures that are fairly well sized, plus a Handicraft, plus 2 bounce spell. I like the deck. It'd be slightly better if I could fill the hole here and have, like, if my last card is gonna end up being a 3-drop, that'd be amazing. I don't think so. I don't think we are willing anything great, but deck is still solid. I could play the Automaton. Don't love that. Like, if I don't get anything else and I need to play a 23rd card, it could be either Courage, Rebuff, or Automaton. I think given the amount of 2-drops we have, Rebuff is not very appealing. This pack has nothing, by the way. I'm gonna pick Maneuver because I think it's the strongest card. Ooh, we got another Innovator. Happy with that. I'd rather have a 3... Oh, we got a 3-drop either way. Amazing. Now we need to cut 1 card. I don't actually love Gearseeker Serpent in this deck. I have 1. I mean, if you have enough artifacts, it's fine. As a 6-drop, it's kind of unappealing. I mean, as a 7-drop, it's kind of unappealing, and I only have 2 cards that can make an artifact in my deck. And I don't really need some more late game. Like, I have 15 other creatures that are pretty well sized, especially if I hunt the weak. I have a Tiger, a Coup, and an Aviator to finish off the game. Nah, I think we'll just cut that. and go with that build, which is sweet. You know, pretty basic but efficient blue-green deck with a nice curve. I really like the fact that we have all those 2-drops that are solid, and you know, this is not the kind of deck where I fear I will, for example, have trouble with mana, have trouble with hitting my land drop or flooding, because I have those 3 Scryers plus 3 Innovators, so plus Rashmi that can get card advantage, so it's quite solid in general. It's the kind of deck that is not insanely powerful, but you will never have, not never, but you will have bad draws much less often than some other decks. And there's some power. I think there's some power. Because we have a bunch of card draw and scry, so we can dig a little bit, and we have 2 very, very powerful cards. Some decentish finishers, some nice removal. Having that much removal in a blue-green deck is not, you know, it doesn't happen very often. So yeah, I love the deck, and I'm glad we moved out of red because red was just not open. And I guess it's gonna be 9-8 in favor of blue, just because I have slightly more blue. I don't think we want to go 10-7, just because I still want my green earlier on, and green is pretty important for my removals. And I have 2 green-blue cards, so I still want to have green. I guess MTGO is gonna say 10-7, but I think it's 9-8. Yup. Alright. Let's sort by mana cost again. Yeah, I love the deck. I mean, it could have a slightly better card. I would be fine trading 1 or 2 of my 2-drop for 1 or 2 3-drop, but other than that, I think it's a pretty sweet deck. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft. I think it was quite interesting. You know, the fact that we had to abandon the dragon. I think if you do the draft and you just want to keep playing red, and you don't let yourself abandon red, I think you end up with a very bad deck. And I think it was pretty good to move out of red, which was interesting. Because, you know, when you open a red bomb rare and red is open and you just get a not red deck, well, it's good for you, but it's not very interesting. So, kind of like that. But yeah, enough talking. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to drop a like if it's the case. Thank you for watching, and see you for round 1.